Good day everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at what it means to be light in the world and the practical way of doing that. And let's start by looking at Matthew chapter 5 verse 14, where Jesus says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives a light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." Now, the first thing I want us to look at there is actually what it means to be light. If you look at a light, the light has one or a few kind of purposes, and the first purpose that a light has is to enable people to see. Now, if you're stuck in the darkness and you need to see something, what do? You turn on a light. So light enables you to see. The second purpose that a light has is it gives direction. If you are in a dark place and you look in a distance and you see a light shining, you know that if you walk towards that light, what you're going to find is life. And then the third purpose of a light is to remove the darkness. When you are in a dark room and you want it to be lit up and you want it to be light again, what do? You turn on the light, because as that light goes on, it removes the darkness out of that place. And that's kind of the purpose of us as Christians, and that's what Jesus talked about here when he's speaking to his disciples after the Beatitudes. He's saying that if you live these Beatitudes, you are the light of the world. You will be the light of the world. And your purpose as disciples in this world is to enable people to see Jesus. Now, we live in the darkness. The world is a dark place. It's full of sin, and we live in the darkness, but we are like the moon that reflects the light of Christ. Now, the moon doesn't produce its own light in the darkness, but it reflects the sunlight that reflects off the moon, that creates light in a dark place for us to see at night. And we need to be like the moon in this world, and we need to reflect Christ. That's our job as Christians, to enable people to see Jesus by reflecting Him. The second purpose for us as Christians is to give directions to people's lives. When people are walking in darkness, when they are stuck in that dark place, but they are looking for life, and they're looking to get out of that darkness, they need to be able to see us as Christians. They need to see us as the light, and people who are different, and people who have a purpose and meaning in life, and they need to be able to walk towards that light and find that light, and be able to find out what makes us shine, which is Christ. And then the third aspect for us as Christians is to remove the darkness out of a situation by shining the truth of Christ. So we need to remove the darkness out of a situation or place by shining the truth of who Christ is in this world. Now, I want to look at a few practical ways of how we can do that. And I just want to look at there where it says, in verse 16, it says, "Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven." And one of the things I want us to look at there is that we've got to shine in such a way that people will see Jesus. They will see our good works. So what does good works talk about there? It's talking about God works. As we spoke about on Sunday, good works are God works. They're not just going out and giving something to charity for, to make us feel like we're a better person, or going and giving that beggar on the street 5 rand to make us feel like we're a better person. No, good works are God works. They're works that God has planted for us to do that is going to have an effect for Him on this world. So how do we do these good works? How do we shine the light of Christ in this world in a practical way? The first thing I want to share with you is, in order to do this, we need to love. At the essence of being the light of the world is love. Matthew chapter 22 verse 37 to 38, Jesus says this: "The greatest commandment is this, love the Lord your God with all your heart, do not lean on your own understanding." And then He says, and the second greatest is this, love your neighbor as yourself. And Christ has called us to love God, but out of that response of loving God, to love others. And if we are going to be the light of the world, we need to learn to love everyone around us. If you read in 1 John chapter 4 verse 7 to 8, I want to read that to you. It says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. The one who does not love does not know God, for God is love." And as John's writing this, he's saying that the essence of who God is love. So if we are going to be the light, we need to shine God's love, and we need to be practical in going out and showing God's love to other people, a love that brings life. And the second aspect of practical way that we can be the light in the world comes out of this, and that is to serve. You see, because of the love that God had for us, Christ came and served us and died on the cross for us so we could have that relationship with God. And sometimes as Christians, actually we put these blinkers on and we walk through life almost ignoring situations where we can serve God in, because we don't want to overcommit ourselves, or we don't want to get involved in that situation, or whatever it might be. But God has called us out of the love that He has for us, out of the love that we should have for others as being light, that we are called to serve. And actually as Christians we should be going out, we should be looking at opportunities to serve, not just in the church, but those people around us. Someone in your workplace, how can you serve them today to show them the love of Christ and show them the light of who Christ is? Look for opportunities to serve on a daily basis, not just within the church, but wherever you are. The third aspect, practical way, is to share, to tell people how good God is. So often as Christians, God is working in our lives. He's doing amazing things in us. We're challenged every day. We grow every day. He speaks to us every day. He provides for us every day. He's doing so many good things, but we go out and we keep quiet about it. And a practical way that we can show the light is that we can share the goodness of who God is and how good God is to us. Because I can guarantee you, one day when that person is sitting in a dark place and they don't know where to go, and they are going to remember how you shared the goodness of God and how God provided for you in a situation, they're going to think, maybe there is a light, maybe there's truth in this, and they are going to seek after that light, which is Christ. So we need to be that light. We need to share the goodness of God with people so that they can walk towards the light and hear the greatness of how good the light is. And then the fourth and final way that I want to share with us this morning is talking about gifting. It is to use your gifting in order to shine the light of Christ. If we just hide away what we're good at, if we just hide away the skills and talents that God has given us, we're not going to fulfill what God has called us to fulfill. And then we're not going to be sharing the light of Christ with the world, but we're just going to be hiding. It says there, don't hide your light under a bushel. And let's talk about, we mustn't hide our giftings and how God's gifted us and the skills we've got, but actually we should use them for His glory so that people can see the light, so that they can see the greatness of God in our lives and how He's working inside of us. And I just want to encourage us this week to go out, and this weekend to go out. Let's purposefully do these practical steps of loving, serving, just sharing the gospel, sharing the goodness of God, and using our giftings to bring glory to Him. And when we do those things practically, we can lead people to who Christ is. We can be His light in this world, and we can fulfill what He's called us to do. Thank you very much for watching. Please join us on Monday as we carry on. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Bye.